Okay, it's getting serious now. Went up to Harbor Freight, got a little tarp so I can finally get this sandblasting done now that the weather is finally cooperating and it's decent out again. And then I also picked up a new air compressor. See, mine was just a little 11-gallon. This is a 21-gallon oil-free, 175 max PSI. It's supposed to be a lot better than the one that I was using. So hopefully I'll be able to have some more time actually sandblasting and not waiting on the air compressor to refill. So I'm going to get this out. I'm going to get it set up. And then we will see just how well it does. Check back later. Assembly was pretty easy. Just put on 2 wheels. And since it's oil free, there's no need to put any oil in it. So setup takes about 5 minutes. It takes longer to get it out of the box. Hopefully it works as well as I think it will. I think I spent a couple $100 on it. It's not very expensive if it works, which is the theme of Harbor Freight. You can actually get some pretty decent equipment from Harbor Freight for the price. And with this, it comes with a 2-year warranty, so if anything happens with it in 2 years, they'll replace it. Generally, everything I get from there, I do a 2-year warranty on. And they have even told me that if anything goes wrong with it in the 2 years, bring it back and they'll replace it. So they stand behind their products. I mean, I know there's been a lot of issues with Harbor Freight in the past. We're not going to talk about jack stands or anything like that, but for your basic equipment, I don't see any reason why not to go to Harbor Freight. I honestly don't. For the guys that are on a budget build, it just makes sense. I was looking at impact wrenches earlier. You can spend $1,000 on a snap-on impact wrench. Or you can go to Harbor Freight and spend $200 to $300 for an impact wrench. It just doesn't make any sense. Granted, the snap-on's probably going to have a little bit more torque. May last a little longer, but for the price of 2 or 3 impact wrenches from Harbor Freight, you can get 1 from Snap-on. So I understand the guys that like Snap-on, they do make good stuff. It's high quality, but you're paying for it. All right, so I'm going to get this hooked up. And I'm going to get the sandblaster, which is also a Harbor Freight sandblaster. And we are going to see if this does any better than my other one. I would really like to get this frame done today so I can get the paint. I've already got all the paint that I need. The rust preventer and the metal degreaser. So if I can just finish getting this sandblasted today, then we will be on our way. So I'll check back after I get going. It is pretty quiet too. What are you doing, big guy? He's a good boy, huh? Hi, Jippers. So as you can see where I left off the last time, I'm gonna try and get all up in here, get this done. I would like to get a coat of paint on that, and we'll just see how far we can get. If this thing works really well, I would like to do all of it. That's why I got the tarp, so I can recycle my sand. So we're gonna see what we can do today. I'll turn the off until I get going, so I'll be right back. Hey, I was talking about recycling your sand for your sandblaster. So I went to the dollar store, picked up a little $7 kitchen strainer. Look at that. All that doesn't need to go in there. Flick it back on the driveway. And then just fill it back up. Save you some money on some sand. Put it right back in. And then all the stuff that would clog your lines, just get rid of it. Goes right in. It's the perfect size, if you can see that, for the sand to go through and nothing else. At least nothing else that's going to clog your lines. It's a little bit of a mess, that's why I'm doing it on the tarp. But when I'm done, I'll roll this frame off, fold the tarp up and drain the sand, and I'll have a bunch more to do it again. It takes a little while to do it, but it's worth it, and then you don't have to buy more than you need. So just a little sandblasting tip for anybody thinking about sandblasting their frames or anything else, really. I'm going to use this to sandblast all kinds of stuff now, because it is working pretty well. Got that completely cleaned, up under there clean so far. Started a little bit over here, and it's about 20-30 minutes into it. It's doing pretty good. I don't want to run a video that long, so I'll just keep giving you updates as I go. See you guys. All right, so it's been about an hour and a half, and if you guys can tell, maybe an hour and a half. Illinois strikes again. Overcast and cloudy. The weather went from beautiful to shit, like that. Just like Illinois, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change. So I had to get cleaned up. I didn't want to waste all the sand that I had. I was able to get about 1.5 bags recovered so I can recycle it, which is about what I used. And I also kind of figure that I've got this kit for painting over rust. So I'm thinking I'm going to try that. I did get a lot of the problem areas off. There's still a little bit of rust. But I'm going to see what this rust removal kit has. Let's just see what it can do. Of course, I'll put it on and I'll try wire wheel and whatnot, but I'm kind of starting to think that I'm wasting my time trying to sandblast this entire frame. At least the back needed it. The front is pretty good, and I'm over it. So the sandblaster is definitely good for anything small you want to do, but maybe not so much an entire car frame. So I'm gonna do the little parts that I need. I want to do a lot of the suspension parts when I get them off. A lot of it's going to need replaced. Of course, the bushings are off now. I mean, it don't seem too bad, but this is gone. That's rusted, if you can see that. The arms are sandblastable, but I think I'm going to have to replace some of them anyway if I get the smaller spring kit. Not real sure yet. I haven't really gotten that far. So I'm going to try and power wash this down and get all the sand off of it, and then try that rust remover kit and just see what it's got. And if I have to go back with the Sandblaster and get what it couldn't get, so be it. I do want the frame to be good. I don't want to put a good body back on top of something that's shit. So we'll continue, but that's going to be in another video. All right, take it easy, peoples. Don't be afraid to get some work done.